Hello, welcome to today's class. Today we will be understanding the concept of agro-climatic regions given by the Planning Commission. So as we discussed in the previous class, we have a lot of agricultural regions and there are numerous agricultural regional classifications that have been given by various scientists. In today's class, we will be looking forward to what is an agro-climatic region. Okay, so agro-climatic region, when we talk about such kind of region, we try to delineate the region by few basic characteristics. So the crop yield is determined by soil, the weather or the climate of the region, okay, the management techniques that are used for crop planning, land use or population pressure. Okay, so these are some of the major characteristics that we take into account while governing the crop yield in a specific region when we talk about agroclimatic regional classification. So there are various scientific methods of management that are now included to increase the fodder, the crop yield, and ultimately promote kind of mixed cropping in the region. So based on that, in India, there was a requirement that the country is divided into various regions so that the regional priorities can be set up. Okay. For this, the Planning Commission of India, under the 8th plan, propounded the agro-climatic regional classification and gave 15 basic regions. Okay. Now, under this classification, what is very important to understand is this classification given by Planning Commission focused on the regional constraints of every region and gave the strategies to promote the agriculture in the region. Okay. Under this classification, there were 15 categories that were involved. So these are the 14 categories that are mentioned, and the 15th category is the islands. Now, let's first start with the primary category. We'll start from north to south. So let's start from the northmost, that is 10, that was the Western Himalayas. Now, let's understand the basic regional constraints in Western Himalayas. Western Himalaya is a region which is having high mountains, okay, often flooded, heavy rainfall, difficult terrain. Okay. Because of this, the region needs to be given some specific priorities, and these priorities include basically management of water. Okay, how can you manage water in this region is by watershed management. So developing region and developing the water resources of this region was very important. As we can see, this region includes the states of Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttaranchal. Because of that, this region requires emphasis on the climatic parameters due to huge variation in the climate and a kind of typically cold climate. A lot of crops cannot grow in this region. Okay. As a result, this region was mainly focused to grow fruits and kind of crops which require less variation in temperature because of the extreme cold weather here. Okay, so these were one of the most important characteristics of Western Himalayan region. The next important is the region 14, that is the Northeast region. Northeast region we can also say is kind of eastern region. It includes the Seven Sisters or the 7 Northeast states. Under Planning Commission, this state or this region was given high priority. Few of the reasons were, first of all, there is huge aluminum toxicity in this region. Because of high aluminum toxicity, the soil is not that good for a lot of crops to grow. Okay. Then again, this region has poor infrastructure, poor network facilities. Okay. Because of this, special emphasis has been given to this region under various plans propounded by the Planning Commission. Major kind of agriculture here is shifting agriculture. Since there is mostly tribal and primitive population residing here, what they do is they grow crops in one patch of land, then they either leave that land fallow or burn that land and move to the next section of crop, the next section or the next patch of land. So that is what is known as shifting cultivation, commonly called as June cultivation in Northeast. So this is one of the common practices in Northeastern states. Besides this, this region needs to develop post-harvest technology. This region being rich in the plantation crop of tea, which is also exported from the country, there is a very important need that the post-harvest facilities are developed in the region and people are mainly educated to grow more and more with modern technologies. So giving them a scientific outlook in Northeast is very important. So this was the next region we have talked about. Now let's move on to the region 9, that is the Satluj Yamuna Plains. This region mainly includes the state of Punjab and Haryana, a very rich region, okay, mainly bestowed with rivers which are kind of which run throughout the year. Okay, so this region is highly fertile. Fertility is good. So soil fertility is not a problem in this region. Again, this region is bestowed with good climatic conditions. And the major crop here is wheat, sunflower. Okay, so these are the major crops in the region. This region is mainly aimed to develop kind of crops which can be grown all the year round. Okay, so this is a kind of fertile bed. So this whole zone from 9 to 13 is a kind of belt which falls in lower Himalayas, a highly populated zone with good resources and better level of education among the people. The next zone that we would be talking about is zone 11, that is the Upper Ganga Plain. It starts from the regions of Delhi, eastern parts of Haryana, and most of Uttar Pradesh. This region is highly rich in soil, being a region of Ganga Yamuna Dua or the Upper Ganga tract, which we call it. The region 11 is highly fertile. The only limitation here is high population pressure. Because of high population pressure, the segments of land are small. Okay, so there are two things that are very important. Either land consolidation should take place in this region so that scientific techniques of farming can be introduced, or else you have to move forward with the traditional methods of farming. In either case, this region being a region of heavy rainfall, not heavy rainfall, decently good rainfall, which ranges from 100 to 150 centimeters a year. Okay, so it's a kind of good rainfall region. Lot of fruits and vegetable crops grow here. Okay, this region is not meant basically for plantation cultivation. So the needs for the local people are satisfied here, and the extra produce in case of wheat is supplied throughout the country. The next zone is the zone of Middle Ganga Plains, starting in the eastern Uttar Pradesh and Bihar region. This region is again under high population pressure, but this region has a basic drawback of which is lack of communication and technology. Okay, because of that, the scientific development in this region is restricted, and Planning Commission specifically aims to delimit this zone and increase the productivity in this region. The main reason being the fertility of the soil is high, so a lot of produce can be made for agricultural purposes in this region. But this region, due to lack of scientific development and lack of communication, poor roads and poor infrastructure facility, does not have proper means to conserve the production that is being made in this region. The next region here is the Lower Ganga region. The Lower Ganga region mainly includes the states of Eastern Bihar and mainly West Bengal, being a highly rich state. Okay, it's highly rich state with ample of crops, fruits, vegetables, and a kind of plantation crops, which mainly jute in this region. The development is very fast. The only constraint here is that government has a lot of control over the production in this region. This leads to limited resource utilization by a lot of farmers, and the need here is to equally distribute those resources among the people. The next region here is the Western Trilands. This is a region of basically the desert region, including the state of Rajasthan, the southern parts of Haryana state here. This region is basically because of the desert, the Thar desert here. This region does not have ample of opportunities for crop development, but this region is good for poultry. Okay. As a result, the Planning Commission emphasizes that this region should be brought forward and there should be options developed for poultry here. The next best option that was demanded for region 8, that is the Western Drylands, is the concept of conservation of water. So drip irrigation, canal irrigation, and tube wells were some of the concepts that need to be introduced in this region. The next is the region 5, that is the Aravali Malwa Plateau, a highly rich region with ample of black soil. Okay. The major dominant crops here are gram, cotton. This region has fertile soils due to the Deccan Plateau extension, which is the Malwa upland. Okay, but again, this region is poor in infrastructure. So the Madhya Pradesh region and the Eastern Bihar, so this whole region from here to here, which I can draw here, okay, is considered as the Bimaru states, because of which we say there is poor infrastructure, poor communication facilities, lack of technological development in this region, low literacy levels, and these regions are given high priority under Planning Commission to develop. And the development in this region is mainly attributed to the fact of the soil fertility, which is mainly the black soil here. Okay, so only crops which are suitable for these kind of soil would be preferred in this region. The next is the Eastern Plateau. The Eastern Plateau includes parts of southern Bihar, Chhattisgarh. Then you have coastal, not the coastal, the remaining part of Odisha. So coastal Odisha would be included in the zone 2, which we'll be talking about later. Okay, so this zone 6 is a zone under which the Planning Commission mainly focuses on development of minerals, and the main focus is not here agriculture, but development of mines and minerals. So huge, this region is very rich in minerals, and huge industries have been set up in this region. The only kind of crops that are grown here are mainly kind of perennial crops, which are seasonal, and they are not supplied to huge parts of the country. The next region we would be talking about is region 4, or the Maharashtra Plateau, a region of Narda and Tapti, with ample of water, plenty of water in this region. This region is mainly developed for sugarcane industry. So sugarcane industry here is supplying throughout the country. Okay, so this region mainly focuses on sugarcane. It's again an extension of Deccan Plateau. So you have the Deccan zone here. So it's kind of extension of Deccan Plateau, and the coastal parts of Zone 4 form the regions of black soil. Most of the soils in the central part of Maharashtra is basically red soil. Okay, so again Zone 3, which is the Deccan interior, is a zone of black and red soil. Coarse grains are mainly found in this region. So this whole region 4 and 3, that is the Maharashtra Plateau and the Deccan interior, form the region of coarse grains like barley, maize, you have ragi, millets. Okay. And the next region is the Western Coastal Plain. The Western Coastal Plain is a region of more than 250 centimeters of rainfall. So huge rainfall. Plantation crops like coconut flourish in abundance here. Okay. Then this region runs from northern Maharashtra to south till Kanyakumari in Kerala. Okay. Then you have the region 2, which is the Eastern Coastal Plain. The Eastern Coastal Plain again extends from southern West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, coastal areas of Tamil Nadu, and till the region in Kerala. This region is basically prone to huge famines occasionally, and also cyclones. So there are kind of lot of unpredictable weather changes that take place in this region. As a result, this region is basically attributed to low stable crops. Okay. And lastly, you have the island region. The region includes the region of Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep. This whole region is kind of basically a tribal belt. Then you have corals in Lakshadweep, and because of this, there is low development. Because of lot of tribal population, there is low development, less exposure, and the government is also not planning to promote a lot of plantation or crops here because they want to conserve this region. So as a result, this region has problems of being in the ocean itself. They have huge problems of soil salinity and acidity. As a result, there are not much crops that grow into this region. So with this, we cover the major 15 regions that were given under the Planning Commission. Okay. In the next class, we'll be talking about the agro-ecological classification, where we will be talking about how agro-ecological classification differs from agro-climatic classification. Till then, have a good day ahead.